You know what I find funny is that if you look at a video on social media and a person in the video is talking about how much they hate themselves, that they're a loser, nobody likes them, they're ugly, they're dumb, all these things, they're putting themselves down, they seem depressed, they seem upset, all these things, right? A lot of people in the comment section and stuff like that will, give them encouragement. No, you're not ugly. No, you're smart. You're cool. You can do it. Don't think that way about yourself. You're awesome. You're valuable. They'll do all these things, right? Which I think is a good thing to do. You understand? I think it's a great thing to do, to lift that person up, try to help them to see themselves as valuable and all that other good stuff, right? I think everybody should see themselves as valuable, as someone of value. They should love themselves. I think that's great, right? But what I also find interesting is that on the flip side, if a person gets on camera and says, hey guys, I'm so fucking awesome. I'm so sexy. I'm so smart. I'm so rich. I'm the best. I'm that guy, whatever it is, right? You look at the comment section, what do people say? Oh, you ain't all that. You understand? You ain't smart. You dumb. You stupid. You arrogant. You confident. You don't look that good, whatever it is. Right now, why is it that when the person is, down on their luck or feeling a certain type of way about themselves, people will pretty much encourage that person? Now, you might have one or two trolls in there that'll say something stupid, but generally the people will, uplift that person, right? But then on the flip side, when you have a confident person who is showing that they love themselves and who is just basically bigging themselves up, then you have a lot of people who try to tear them down. What is that about, right? See, this is the thing. You got to understand that most people gravitate to and like the loser deep down. So that first person who's all depressed and who's saying they suck and who hates themselves, most people like that person. Now, the reason why they like that person is because they relate to that person more than the actual person who is the winner, the guy who, is confident and who has that energy about him, right? And so what happens is that when they see that confident person, bigging themselves up and talking about how awesome they are and showing off all their awesome shit, right? It makes the average person feel some type of way because they think that person is better than them. Now, the first person I described who was all depressed and who hated themselves, right? The average person looks at that person and they think that they're better than that person. So even though they're lifting them up, hey, buddy, don't feel that way about yourself. You're cool. You're not ugly. You're handsome. You're this, you're that. They're bigging that person up who's putting themselves down because they feel like, you know what? I kind of relate to what he's saying in a sense, but also I kind of feel like I'm better than him. So this guy's life sucks. Like, I'm having issues too, but at least I'm not that guy. And that guy who is feeling down about himself and who hates himself, he makes the average person feel good about themselves. The confident person makes the average person feel like shit. So this is why they have to put down the confident, on-point person. This is how it goes. It's funny because, I follow Kevin Hart on Instagram and social media and all this other stuff, right? And what I've noticed is that, Kevin Hart be grinding. He puts out a lot of different videos of things he's doing, behind the scenes and all these other things. I've seen like videos where he's like, getting up early, working out, doing all these things, working with different people, doing all these different movies, posting all the stuff he's doing. And I always see comments of people, shitting on him. You understand? It's like, oh, you ain't all that, and Cat Williams is funnier than you, and you ain't even that funny, and this and it. Like, it's just this constant shitting on him. And I'm just like, wouldn't you think that there should be some encouragement or just some like, hey, I'm going to give you your accolades. I'm going to give you your respect. Right now, there are some of those comments there too. But what I find is there's an overwhelming amount of comments and people talking down on the situation, talking down on the winner. Why? I'll tell you why. Because the average person doesn't think they can win like him. You understand? The average person is more closely associated to the loser. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why if a person is, like, oh, I suck, I'm this and I'm that and I'm not that good and, sad story, everybody's quick to pat them on the back. You understand? But when a person is saying that they are awesome, right, then they're going to put them down. See, it's as simple as this. Let's say, for example, just real quick, follow me here. Let's say that I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as attractiveness is concerned, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very, very attractive, 1 being not attractive at all. If I said that I thought on a scale of 1 to 10 that I was a 3, right? And I'm really selling this, in the scale of 1 to 10, I kind of think I'm like a 3. I don't think, I don't even think I'm, attractive at all. I don't think I'm good looking at all, whatever. Most people, what they would do is they'd be like, no, Locario, you're not a 3. You're a handsome guy. What are you talking about? I would say you're at least a 7 or 7.5, a 6, whatever, right? Now, let's flip it. If I come over here, I say, nigga, I'm a 10. I'm so fucking sexy. I am a 10. I look so goddamn good. What are you going to see in the comments? Nigga, you a 2, you a 3. You ain't all that. You don't look good. You see what I'm saying? This is how people think and operate. Right now, I'm saying all this to say that understand that when you are doing your thing, when you're out here doing your thing, right, and you're really being consistent, you're going to win. And what most people want you to do is they want you to be quiet about winning. They're cool with you being loud about losing, but they want you to be quiet about winning. Because if you are loud about winning, people are going to want to bring you down. And they're going to want to bring you down because they are not winning. You understand what I'm saying? They don't like that you are confident about yourself. They don't like that you love yourself. Why? Because they don't love themselves. So, since they don't love themselves, they can relate to the first person I was talking about, who doesn't really love themselves either. You see what I'm saying? And so they'll encourage that person again, which is good. I think it's good to encourage people to, love themselves and lift themselves up. But part of it is really because they relate so much to that person, and low key, they feel good about being better than that person. That's what they feel. So they feel comfortable and they feel good about themselves in the situation to lift that person up. See, in order for you to really show love, you have to have love. You have to feel that love within yourself already. So when the average person feels better, they feel good about themselves in relation to the guy who's down, they can lift them up because in that moment they feel better about themselves. But check this out. Let's say if you actually felt good about who you are and you loved yourself all the time, right? And you were winning all the time, right? Would you be the type of person who puts down the winner? Think about it. Would you be the person that puts down the winner? You probably wouldn't.